This is a demonstration of using Axway's Amplify in a customer onboarding workflow automation. So currently what happens is when a new customer is acquired, they're added as a contact into Salesforce. And then periodically, let's say once a day, the onboarding team logs into Salesforce, checks out the new contacts, and then enters them into their customer onboarding application, which will track, the onboarding of a client through the various different phases. And what they do is when they add the client to the onboarding application, the next thing they do is they share some assets, initial assets through Simplicity. So they're using Axway's Simplicity electronic file sync and share to share assets with the new client to help them get oriented with the product. And what we'd like to do is see if we can automate this process because, with people involved, it's rife for human error. So the idea here is to use Axway's Amplify, and in particular API Builder, to build an application which will automate this process. So what API Builder will do is check Salesforce for any new contacts since the last time it checked. And if there are new contacts, it will store them in the onboarding database, which happens to be a MongoDB database. So we'll directly write into Mongo. And then when we write that contact in, the next thing we'll do is we'll share files. We'll share a specific folder of files with that new contact. And then we'll also notify the onboarding team through their Slack channel. And then we'll also send a SMS through Twilio and the Twilio connector of API Builder to let the manager of the onboarding team know that new contacts have been added and began the onboarding process. So that's the flow. Let's take a look and see how it works. So let me bring up a couple things here. And all right, so this is Salesforce, so I'm going to add a new contact in here. And then when I add a new contact, API Builder, which is running on some timer, is going to check, and if it finds a new contact, we'll then add it to the MongoDB database. So this happens to be using MongoDB Atlas, which is hosted in Amazon. And I can see I've got a collection here called onboard, or called onboard with a collection called contact, and there's currently one contact in there. And then in Simplicity, the folder that I'm going to share is workflow demo, and it has one file in it. So those are the various different components. And again, here's the Slack channel. So when I add this contact, a couple things are going to happen. We should see some notifications flying around. I should see a message posted in this Slack channel via the new contact bot. And then I should also see an SMS notification that I'm going to receive using this application called Text Now. So I'm going to send an SMS to that phone number. So let's give this a shot. Let me go into new contact. And the only fields I really need are, that was supposed to be Joe Blow. And the email address, I will use mine, so it will come up through my Outlook, axway.com. All right, so there is the new contact, and that is saved. And now we basically wait. Well, there it is. So I think the timer is set for 90 seconds, and I must have submitted this just before. So I have an SMS that was sent to this phone number, and this is again the manager of the onboarding team, so they can be aware of a new user called Joe Blow with this email address. Also, the team who are using Slack to communicate internally and maybe even with clients are going to receive this notification from the new contact bot. And now let's see what else happened here. So if I go under my files and click refresh, I can now see that this folder has been shared. Let's see with whom. Let me go under manage, and I can see it was shared with lbrandman@axway.com, which is Joe Blow's email address. Well, it's actually mine, but so that's kind of cool, which means I should soon get a notification through my email when that email gets sent. But the next thing we'll do while we wait for that email is check the MongoDB database. I'll refresh that. It'll take a few seconds, and there it is. So here's the new contact, and I can see the email address, the name, and I also have the Salesforce ID for tracking purposes, and the stage is set to new. So this will kick off a separate workflow through the onboarding system. And the only thing I didn't see is the email come in letting me know that this file was shared. So this will probably come in any second now. And here you can also see the email that came in to my email address, because that's what I entered as the contact's email address. And if I log in to my account, I can actually access that folder. So that's a demonstration of using API Builder, part of the Axway Amplify platform, to do a workflow automation connecting to Salesforce, connecting to MongoDB, connecting to Slack as a bot, notification bot, and then connecting to Twilio to send SMS notifications to the onboarding manager. Thank you.